Hi, Dr. Ziggy here again with Matt behind the camera.
Hey.
Now, 2025 was a big year for artificial intelligence. And as a lot of YouTube channels, AI YouTube channels have been doing, they've been doing like a review of the year gone by. So I thought I'd do something different. And I asked Matt to go and have a look at some of the top AI YouTube channels out there and pick out the top comments from these YouTube channels. And then I would review these comments. And in the process, I thought I'd just comment on 2025, the year that's gone by. So we've had a lot of talk about AI hype. We've had a lot of broken promises, but we've had a lot of advancements. Like considering where we were in January of 2025 and now January of 2026, like massive advancements. Now, Matt's a non-technical person, so that's interesting as well. We'll see what Matt has chosen. I asked him to look for comments that to him were intriguing, interesting, funny, or just stupid. All right, let's go. Let's have a look. Matthew Berman, you had to start with him, didn't you? This guy, man, this guy's just, he's Mr. Hype Machine, and he's on steroids at the moment. Like, he won't stop in this whole, anyway. AI just solved one of the hardest math problems, intelligence explosion. I remember I watched the first 10 seconds of this video and then I skipped it. Like, no, the hype is, it's not as strong as it used to be. People are talking about an AI bubble, but he keeps pushing that agenda to the point where it's becoming artificial and a little bit obnoxious. AI just solved one of the hardest math problems. If it really did, it would be all over the news. I doubt anyone has heard of this, but anyway, let's have a look. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is still trying to figure out where the seahorse emoji is hiding. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, okay, this guy understands. You get the reference or not?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there's this thing where there used to be a seahorse emoji, and the LLMs, large language models that have been trained on past data, have access to this seahorse emoji, but it doesn't exist anymore. They took it out. I can't remember the reasons why they took it out. So now if you ask for the seahorse emoji in ChatGPT, it just loses its mind. It goes bananas because it says, here's the seahorse emoji, prints it out, and it's not the seahorse emoji. And then it goes into an infinite kind of loop and says, this is not the seahorse emoji. I will definitely rectify this problem, and let's go through it. And it just goes through, and it's a whole thing.
Is that kind of the same process that's going on behind the scenes when like your computer crashes?
Well, look, yes and no. Infinite loops are kind of the same when it comes to machines because machines are inherently unintelligent and get stuck in an infinite loop. However, the infinite loops when it comes to large language models, I mean, we're dealing with billions of parameters, whereas with computers, they're slightly less technical and less complicated. So yes and no to that.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about is there a huge difference between LLMs, or are they essentially different brands of the same thing?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, okay. So yes and no once again, right? So LLMs can be structured differently. They can have, like when we talk about neural networks have layers, and it's how you connect these layers together and how these neurons are connected and how they relate back to each other, whether they all the connections are forward and all that kind of stuff. That's a big topic in itself. And the other big component is the data that is being trained on. And we don't know what kind of data is being trained. Even the open source models from coming out of China, we don't really know where that data is coming from. So Grok, which is owned by Elon Musk's company, that has access to data that other LLMs don't have access to. So OpenAI doesn't have access to X, doesn't have access to Twitter. So Grok is unique in that respect. Plus, it scrapes all the data from the internet and it has X. And Google has a lot of private data that doesn't share from other companies. So Gemini has access to that, and hence why you have these differences in LLMs. Some LLMs are better than others, and because of the way that the architecture looks like and the data that they're trained on. Anyway, we digress.
No, that's interesting. It's interesting. So in that regard, are some LLMs better than others overall, or are they better than others at specific things because they're access to that specific information?
Yeah, well, this is where benchmarks come in. And there are general benchmarks and very specific benchmarks. So coding benchmarks are just for coding, and then general specific ones. So it depends on the benchmark that you reference. Claude or Anthropic's LLM is very good with coding, and that's where software engineers seem to go to. Whereas Gemini is better for the Gemini 3, the latest one is best for the general kind of intelligence. So how we measure capabilities of LLMs or AI is through benchmarks. And we're just getting more and more and more benchmarks coming out because people are realizing that it's not a simple question, what you've asked. It's not a simple question to answer. Yeah. Matthew, you are Mr. Hype Machine. But anyway, some of his videos are good. Some of them are good. So, all right, next one. Sabine Hossenfelder. Sabine's great. I like Sabine. Sabine's great. Marry me, Sabine. Marry. I have no money. I have no real world assets. I have no real estate. I don't know. I've got 2 cats, Matt. Maybe do you think I've got a chance with Sabine? She's great.
One cat would have been enough. I think.
Cat.
They're both pretty fantastic.
They are great cats. Sabine, you're all right. You're all right. She's a physicist by trade. Used to be in academia. Left. She's got great videos criticizing academia, which I wholeheartedly subscribe to. Anyway, AI is coming for scientists' jobs seriously. Okay, I've seen this video. Let's have a look what she says.
I scrubbed through this one a bit just for the context of it. This video talks a lot about publications that are, AI assisted and sometimes, more than assisted. And it was sort of opening up the debate for what's the value of AI in scientific journaling.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion on that?
Yes and no. This is one of the reasons why I'm trying to get out of academia myself. Academia is becoming more and more a business. Previously, it was about knowledge and wisdom and shaping young people's minds and the pursuit of science. Now it's all about getting grants and getting companies to fund these research things, to pay. University has grown, and someone has to pay for this growth. And even before AI came along, there has been a lot of BS papers and BS in academia where academics were starting to just publish for the sake of publishing. Rankings, university rankings. That's another big thing that has ruined academia, where universities are trying to cut corners. They're not going for quality, they're going for quantity, because that's what kind of gets you up in the rankings. So then AI, in some sense, is helping science and helping academia, but in the other sense, it's helping to pursue the goal of rankings and publications, and it's academia slop. I'm gonna coin a new term, academia slop. So it's a tough question to answer. Again, there's good stuff and there's bad stuff when it comes to AI. Is AI coming for scientists' jobs? No, I think that's a bit too far-fetched. We're quite unique creatures who are intelligent inherently rather than just secondarily like AI. But anyway, the comment. Wait until AI finds out most science jobs are minimum wage. Is that meant to be like a joke?
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny.
That's not always the case. I mean, university professors, they earn quite a bit of money, but some science jobs are minimum wage.
Yeah. So what I would like to hear you talk about is where like a minimum wage job does not necessarily mean an unimportant job.
Yeah.
And what are the dangers you see of jobs like this being given over to AI?
At the moment, the way that things are going is that the top execs who don't understand the lower level jobs, they're pushing for AI to take over these jobs, and then they're paying the price for it. Literally paying the price for it. So because we are unique creatures, we are inherently creative, inherently intelligent, and we're not machines. We're not, one-dimensional machine, as good as AI is and has become over the last few years. So what's happening is that if there is a danger, I think it's short term in some respects, because these top execs are finding out, okay, I can't really outsource this, or if I do outsource it, there are negative consequences down the line, short term or long term. AI is a disruptive technology, so some jobs are on the chopping block. I've never said that they aren't. So that's a danger as well, and we can't forget that, and we can't forget about the people, and we have to try to help these professions out and be humane about all these kinds of things. It's not just let's just push for profit, but let's do this in a humane way. So yeah, there are dangers, but we control this, right? We are ultimately in control of what is happening. We should be in control of what is happening. It's not, we haven't unleashed some kind of a monster and it's out there autonomously acting. It's not. All right, next one. Oh, Dave Shapiro. He's okay. So there's Matthew Berman, who is Mr. Hype Machine. David Shapiro is Mr. Doom and Gloom. This guy extrapolates into the future, and man, like he is predicting 85% unemployment and like no jobs, autonomous robots and AI everywhere. Some of his videos are good, and that's why I'm subscribed to him. He's very popular as well, so I also, I like to hear other people's opinions in my subscription feed. What's this video? 4 reasons OpenAI is doomed. Now that was a very, very good video, and I agree with him when it comes to, he's a smart man. He's a full respect to his intelligence. Yeah, OpenAI could be doomed. I think last week Google signed a deal with Apple for its large language models called Gemini to power Siri. And Apple is going to pay Google $1 billion a year for Siri to be powered by Google. And Apple completely bypassed OpenAI with ChatGPT. Like, the game's over for them in some sense. OpenAI have gambled a lot. They have overstretched a lot. If they don't come up with something now, they could be in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of debt at the moment. They've hired Johnny Ive, who used to be the chief design officer at Apple. He was behind, iMacs and iPhones and iPods and all that. They've hired him to try to create devices for them. It could pay off. But they need to come up with something, because they could be in trouble. And this was a very good video by Dave Shapiro. Let's have a look at the comment. Even if AGI was possible, which it isn't, that's another topic in itself, who gets to prompt it for the cure to cancer and who benefits? Makes no sense whatsoever, because it doesn't have to. Okay, that's living in the far future. Is envisaging this comment is envisaging a scenario where a clean LLM appears and no one has access to it, and it just sits down in a lab coat and says, what is the cure for cancer? Enter. And then the cure for cancer comes out. It's not how it works. These things advance progressively. So, just like science has progressed over the years, AI has progressed over the years. So it's not like someone's going to sit down and get the cure for cancer. It'll happen in stages. And plus there's so many different types of cancers out there. So yeah, once again, living in the extrapolated far future. All right, Dave Shapiro, you're all right.
Just before we move on, the first half of this question, if AGI was possible, which it isn't, such a strong statement. So clearly there's a train of thought of people who believe that AGI is not even possible.
Yeah.
Could you briefly touch on that?
Yeah, look, first of all, what do you mean by AGI? And that's a whole video in itself. What is AGI? Artificial general intelligence. What do you mean by general intelligence? Secondly, how do you measure it? And why not it is or isn't possible is another. So if you define it for me, I'll answer that question. And then we can talk about whether it is or isn't possible. Most people are starting to think that AGI is something that imitates human intelligence to the point of being equal to human intelligence in all possible realms and all possible cases.
Even that's quite subjective.
Yeah, even that's quite subjective. Yeah. So, look, I'm going to leave that. I've actually talked about
We did a video.
Yeah, we've done videos about that as well. So look, let's leave it for now. I think that's enough for that question. Yeah. All right, next one. AI Explained. This is my favorite AI YouTube channel, I think. It's Phil from this channel. He's great because no clickbait, no hype talk, just pure facts, right? Just pure facts. And all his videos are just calm, collected. Here's what's going on. And I respect the fact that it's science in its kind of pure form. Bubble or no bubble, AI keeps progressing. Relentless learning plus introspection. Yeah. If it fails, the bubble pops. If it succeeds, society pops. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, man. Yeah, that's funny. I don't think society will pop. That's my personal opinion, but it could. I'm not denying that. This is a disruptive technology, and we've seen history show us that, industrial progress can make society pop, like in the industrial revolutions and whatnot. I don't think that will happen, but it could.
Fingers crossed it doesn't.
Yeah, fingers crossed it doesn't. Yeah, I love AI. I don't want to start hating it. All right, Fireship. Fireship has gone downhill a bit in the last 6 months. Yeah, I wonder why. Not many videos, and just the quality has gone down, in my opinion anyway. OpenAI's new browser feels familiar. Now, I made a video predicting that OpenAI was working on a browser over a year ago, I think. And yeah, the other thing I predicted that didn't come true was that OpenAI might be working on an operating system. So that didn't come true, but I did predict the
operating system's the first. No, a browser is the first step to an operating system.
Yeah, I mean, it's still cool. Anyway, order me a Hawaii pizza. Pineapple heart. I've ordered 750 tungsten cubes for $262.500 on a site with no refund policy. I think that's meant to be $2,500. You're welcome. Yeah. Well, we've just done videos on how AI agents have failed with vibe management. So that's a perfect comment. Let's go. Computerphile. Computerphile. I've been subscribed to these guys for years, and that's Mike Pound. He's a lecturer from the UK in my field of computer vision. Massive respect to this guy because he explains things quite well. The problem with AI slop. If anything, 2025 has been the year of AI slop. It's been crazy, man.
It's been wonderful.
Dude. But anyway, Mike Pound, let's have a look at the comment. If you can't be bothered to write it, I can't be bothered to read it. That's very good. Oh, that hurts, man. My blog has kind of died. I used to have a blog. Well, I still do. But people are not searching for stuff on the internet anymore. They're asking AI now. So, yeah, the amount of viewers that have visited my site has dropped by 50%. So I kind of don't feel motivated to write for my blog anymore. This YouTube channel's, kind of my main focus now. It's a shame. Yeah, he's not wrong. It's not good that we're not writing and we're not reading. It's not good. All right. OpenAI. 10 years. Ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. Yeah, well, that was their founding motto. It's a big topic now, whether they have been faithful and loyal to that motto. There's currently a case that Elon Musk versus Sam Altman about this. They're a de facto for-profit organization now. Are they there to benefit all of humanity, or are they there for the ka-chings? That's basically it, right? It's been 10 years, has it, since they were founded? I think it has, yeah. I think it has. That was their founding motto, man. I don't think any sane person would believe that that's the case anymore, that they're there for the benefit of all of humanity. They're just another corporation now in the mix. Now, what's the comment? 9 years ago, I talked about OpenAI in my presentation about AI in school. Crazy how things have changed. There you go. Crazy how things have changed. Where there's money to be made, it's the greedy people, the backstabbing people that make their way up, make their way in, clean the good people out. We saw that with communism, for example, and we see that in corporates. Human nature, man.
Do you think OpenAI has sort of shifted in this way because when they were founded, AI was less of a established thing? It was a bit more theoretical.
Yeah. There was no money to be made. Now there is a lot of money to be made. There is a lot of money to be made. Trillions now. So greed. Unfortunately, that's the corporate world, man. It's the corporate world. Greed wins out. That's the way it is. Yeah.
Do you feel like innovation is slowing down at all now that there's so much money behind it? It shouldn't be the way, but sometimes, people slow down because it's like, hey, if we're printing this and it's working, then let's just keep printing that thing. Why change it?
That's the enshitification, right? We see that all the time. Netflix, the quality of Netflix series has dropped significantly. Magic the Gathering that we play, I mean, just look at the crap that's being printed nowadays just for money. It kills the spirit of things. So definitely innovation is being hit by the pursuit for profit. But this industry is so big that people are still innovating, and innovation won't die because we're still finding new ways to use AI new ways to use this technology. So no, I don't think generally innovation is taking a hit. I don't think so. Yeah, we're still gonna be seeing new stuff coming up. Yeah. Google DeepMind, Nano Banana Pro. Man, they came from nowhere. Google came from nowhere. Not maybe nobody, but Google weren't a player in the AI field. OpenAI, clear leaders, and then Google just played their cards right, did the right things, and now they might be the leaders in this whole industry. They've done really, really well. Nano Banana Pro is their image creating software.
Great, because I watched the video and after it I was like, I still have no idea what a nano banana is.
Yeah, there's a funny story to the actual name. One of the people behind this whole enterprise, her nickname was Nana Banana or something like that. That was a nickname. So then they were thinking about a name for their product, and she just threw it into the mix. And I said, "Oh, that sounds great." So her nickname became the name of their product, something like that.
So do you think that they've been working on AI stuff quietly for a similar amount of time, or do you think that they took and built on a platform of existing AI stuff?
Well, technically, OpenAI took what Google developed. So this whole architecture called the transformer architecture, GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer or something like that. So Google came up with this idea of the transformer, which is how you connect neural networks and whatnot. And then OpenAI took that and then built ChatGPT around it. So Google were the pioneers in some respects to this whole revolution. So they've been behind the scenes, but they laid the foundation.
Wow.
To all of this. Yeah. OpenAI did exceptionally well. They did really, really well. But yeah, Google's back in the game. Hey, amazing engineers at Google, please do a podcast or an in-depth interview on how you built the nano banana model. Was it a sudden eureka moment or a long, surprising curve of breakthroughs? Honestly, I can't imagine how your minds work at this level. This is insane engineering, it is. Would love to hear the story behind it. Google DeepMind does have a podcast. Yeah, I mean, it was a long process for sure, because there've been iteration. It used to be Bard, Google Bard, and they were quite controversial and all that, and then they came out with it. So it's been a long, long journey for sure. It would be interesting to get a summary of that too. But well done, Google. 2025 in AI was the year of Google. I think it's fair to say that they came from nowhere. Now they're the leaders. That's it.
That's it.
Well, hopefully we summarized 2025 in this video. Yeah, we went through quite a bit. Well, thanks, Matt, for that, and thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my take on 2025. It's exciting, in my opinion. I don't subscribe to the doom and gloom, but it is disruptive, so we can't go headlong into this blindly. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more.